If you wear an FP Journe, you're a douche. Hey, Watch Logistics fans and subscribers. We haven't done an episode for a while, so let's get into it. We're coming into September 2025. The watch craze bubble has certainly popped. No more crazy resale prices for 90% of the watches that used to have crazy resale prices. Let's call it that. The only few remaining brands or models that warrant some form of premium is really the color dials by Rolex, the OPs, the Land Raider or the Land, I haven't forgotten what the bloody thing's called. The prices fetched for that thing is just ridiculous. I mean, I know it's got a new movement, it's got the integrated bracelet finally, but the thing is for me, I've always said it since day one, I've never been into the integrated bracelet. And for Rolex to still release one, and for people to still go crazy about it, I thought it was just a lot of pump and crap from the YouTube world. Ultimately, it's still Rolex. It's not worth the money that they're charging or asking for over and above the retail price. Trust me, the Swiss watch industry, or let's just call it the watch industry in general, will be feeling a pinch. If the Swiss masters are feeling the pinch, the Microbrands will be feeling a pinch. I would dare say within the next 2 years, we'll see a lot of them go under. Because they were small brands to start with, right? It's gonna really tell us which micro brands are truly in it for the passion and not just a quick grab. Let's go get some cases and movements off the catalog, put it together and charge 5x. And what's gonna be left is a quality that's gonna float to the top. What does that mean? Well, I think for the Swiss watch brands, I think they're gonna now have to go back to the drawing board. I alluded to this in a few episodes in the past, that they have to now come up with stuff that is going to attract the attentions of their loyal fan base.
I remember that. Yeah.
Remember? They won't buy as frequent, but they're still gonna buy.
100%.
As long as you give them something worthwhile for them to go, yep, this is why I love Rolex, this is why I love Omega, this is why I love Zenith or IWC or whatever, right?
I have like 4 Rolexes, but this is a reason for me to get another one rather than just stopping my collection there, yeah.
That's right. Well, Omega started somewhat from last year when they released a few special Speedmaster models that sort of nodded to some vintage models and what have you. Rolex, given the reality that they will build a massive new factory and all that, pumping out however millions upon millions of watches. You can't tell me that there's still a wait list. No, I'm sorry, no one's buying. And you know what's funny though, Daniel? No one's calling to offer watches. I don't know, viewers, if you are someone that's been on the list, or if you know the ADs or what have you, have you guys been getting calls? Have you guys been offered watches? I can tell you, I'm still walking to the watch shops, right? Anything for sales or have you. Nothing's for sale. But I have noticed a slight demeanor change by the people working at the shops.
Interesting.
Before I used to walk in and they'd be like, who are you to talk to us?
Yeah.
And now you guys come, they say no, but it's not a confident no. It's like, no, they're hesitating. Because they must be getting some form of instructions from wherever the powers may be saying, do not offer any watches.
Yeah, exactly. They're trying to remember the script.
Yeah, they're trying to remember the script. Yeah. They know it's bullshit. Yeah. It's BS, right? It's complete BS. Rolex needs to make money. It's a giant machine. If you make millions upon millions of watches, you can't tell me you're selling them. Impossible.
Yeah.
Given that the price of gold, which where it's at, and it's consolidating at about, I think, 3,500 USD, let's call it there, about USD per ounce of gold. A gold Submariner is gonna be between 80 to 100,000 bucks, Australian dollars.
Wow.
Who in their right mind is gonna spend 80,000 plus for a Submariner just because it's gold? It's not sustainable. No. This business model is not sustainable. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like $80,000 put that, just go buy gold. That 80 grand worth of gold is going to go up, whereas that watch won't. So if you're still thinking you're going to go buy that Rolex or whatever brand you're going to buy, and you're thinking, look, I'm going to get it because it's a good investment and in time it's going to be 2-3 times more, forget about it. You've got rocks in your head. In fact, every single Rolex today, I think it's almost pretty much you can buy it at cost and below cost on Chrono, even Chrono 24.
Yeah.
Right.
How has like your watch collecting or like enthusiasm, has that been impacted by this, or is that still staying strong?
No, it hasn't. When I started collecting, I had very little money, so I wasn't collecting Rolexes.
Yeah.
You know, the most expensive watch I had, it was Tag Heuer. You know, the rest of the time was just little trinket here, little trinket that. But even then it was a very careful purchase, right? Because I just liked it. Sure, later on, as I saved more money, made more money, I started getting more and more expensive pieces. Yes, but that was even then before COVID. I was looking at Vacheron Constantins, I was looking at Moses, I was looking at FP Journe, Élégante, which is the watch that's the hottest at the moment. FP Journe is still demanding a fair level of interest. When I first saw the watch, I really enjoyed the FP Journe, purely because it had the swan neck hands. I mean, look, it's elegant, it's classy, but I was young back then. That didn't sing to me, but I really liked the swan neck hands. And at the time I knew it was an expensive watch because I know that the aftermarket price was still very high. Like, you know, like 20 grand, 30 grand. But for an Élégante, which is their quartz, over-engineered quartz watch, when the first time I saw it, I go, what is this ugliest piece of watch ever? Right? You can pick one up for under 10,000 bucks. And now every man and his dog is going crazy over that Élégante shape.
Interesting.
And I'm like, oh, can you guys be any more of a watch fashion victim? Right? That's an FP Journe Élégante. And I'm like,
it just doesn't look right.
It doesn't look right. $124,000. That's not worth that price. And if you're spending, guys, if you got that much money, you're gonna buy that for that money, I'm sorry to say it, you probably worked hard for your money, but you're an effing idiot.
Yeah, you're some bad taste.
you're an effing idiot. Taste. And you know what, all the collectors of FP Journe, God, they're up themselves. They are so up themselves. You know how when we drive on the streets, and I love some cars, but you know there's only a certain type of people that buys that car, and you're like, I love that car, but I don't like it because I know who's driving.
I don't want to be a douchebag.
If you wear an FP Journe, you're a douche. The watch market is on its way down. And if we all think this is the bottom, we are all very wrong. The crash has not yet even begun in my view. If I were to buy any watch this year and 26, I will be very surprised. If I scour the internet and I find a nice vintage piece, then that's a different story. But even then, I would have a budget of no more than 10 over the next 2 years. That's my purchasing plan. When that thing goes under $10,000, that's when I'll be buying again.